One of the Wilmington mayoral candidates who lost wants to be in the administration of the guy who won. We'll talk to Councilwoman Maria Cabrera. This is the Delaware Way. Welcome to the Delaware Way. Let's talk about the future of Wilmington with Councilwoman Maria Cabrera from Wilmington, also a mayoral candidate. The primary just happened. You didn't finish first. Are you disappointed?
I'm not, because I knew that this election there was so much at stake, and it was really about trying to get the current mayor out, I believe is what was going on, the fear-mongering versus trying to elect the best choice for Wilmington. But I'm fine, because I'm ready to continue to do the good work that I've been doing for the residents of Wilmington. I'll work with the new mayor. I'll work as a volunteer, as I always had, without a title. So I'm relieved and I'm calm, and I'm just glad to start resuming some type of normalcy in my life.
Is there any self-reflection? Do you look back and say, I should have done this differently, I should have done this differently? Any regrets?
I don't have any regrets, but I will say that when you run a campaign of this nature for the first time, because my city council race was, it was like I just jumped in there and with no money, no signs, and no time became my logo, but people remember my good work. But with this campaign, yes, there are best practices and things that we learn. One, it's very important to have a war chest because it takes money to run campaigns no matter what. Second, infrastructure, volunteers, those things are really important to have the tight organization, because you can win a campaign without money, but you need to have that. And three, you have to be prepared to make the investment of time, and that was something that I did not do for my campaign because I was busy still being the councilwoman. I felt that my job as an elected official was more important than the campaigning piece of it, and I am a full-time mom, and I have a full-time job, so I was torn in many ways as for my priorities. So the campaign just added a fourth job to my plate. So those are the lessons learned. And the other thing that I would say is that I feel good because I know that I open doors and I touch lives, and there's people that had never voted in their life before that felt inspired by me, and they got involved just because I was in the campaign, so campaigning for mayor. And I think that was good. That's called making progress.
Although in Delaware you don't have to quit your job on the city council, you can't run for two offices at the same time, which means you couldn't run for re-election on a city council. You're still a city council person, but at the end of the year,
yes,
you're going to have to step down.
Yes.
Is there things that could be accomplished between now and the end of the year?
Oh yes, I have two pieces of legislation that I'm hoping will move forward and we can vote them in. One of them is I believe we should have a statute of limitations on those parking tickets. Right now they're going back in time because they have the technology, and they're booting people and making them pay for tickets from 20, 25, 30 years ago, which I think is absolutely unfair, and again, the predatory practices that the city is known for. Second, I'm going to push to get those tickets reduced from $40 to at least $30 is the compromise that some of my colleagues said. I think $25 would be more reasonable for a city of the poverty level that we're in. We should not be giving anyone a $40 ticket. The people who pay are the people in the poorest neighborhoods adjacent to downtown. Again, predatory practices.
I want to ask you about two personalities, and I'm going to start with Mayor Dennis Williams. He was in here. He's a likable guy. I liked him. He never seemed like he was able to get any traction. He never seemed like he got along with council. He never seemed like he got along with the state. Look back on his 4 years, and if you can, talk about what his legacy is.
His legacy, I would say, is that he really does genuinely care about the people in Wilmington. He was out there with the kids in the neighborhood. I think he felt impelled that from his upbringing that he brought people into his administration that even if they weren't qualified, he felt that he needed to give them a chance and an opportunity. And that's all well and good. I think that the mayor has a good heart. He really wanted what was best for Wilmington. But when you are focusing on political paybacks, which is what happened with a lot of the positions that he appointed people, and the work isn't getting done, there was a lack of accountability. And he was very disconnected with the community and the needs of the people. I, for one, will tell you, very naively going into this, I had these visions of rolling up my sleeve and the mayor and council, because we all knew each other, we worked well together. The mayor was my neighbor 5 blocks away in the 1st District for 20 years. I was so excited about all the good we were going to do in Wilmington, and imagine my disappointment, the slap in my face when I'm reading about how he's going to send the police to come take us to enforce a meeting, which he was unaware of the charter, unaware of the budget, unaware of how things worked. And, you know,
was his biggest mistake turning down the money from the state
his
for the
biggest
police
mistake
department?
was making making enemies on city council, and I was never his enemy. I have never spoken badly about him. I've always been very encouraging and never blamed him. I think his biggest mistake was not sitting down and working with all the leaders and understanding that we were here to help Wilmington, that we were never against him. I think the paranoia was one of the problems.
You got to know the other mayoral candidates very well from the debates. Mike Brzezicki, what do you expect from him?
I believe that Mike is going to go in there and he's going to do the difficult job that I was dreading if I had won, and that is that you're going to have to clean house. You're really going to have to look at everybody that works in city government. You're going to have to understand the dysfunction, and let me tell you, Larry, it is far bigger than what the public knows, and I know this because I have personal relationships with people that work in those departments. The city is really a big mess, so Mike is going to have to go in there. He's going to have to start cutting. He's going to have to put people and practices in place that hold everybody accountable. People need to have employee reviews because if they're not doing their job, they need to go. We need to bring some positive, fresh ideas into the city and energy. I, for one, am looking forward to working with Mike because one of the things that came out of this campaign is that I brought up issues that no one else brought up, that I brought some ideas that I was thinking outside of the box and perspective that no one else brought as a woman, as a Latina, and I believe that Mike and I would work very well, so I will support him on any level.
Would you like to work in his administration?
I would like to work in his administration on the neighborhood level. I would like to help him get to know those neighborhoods. He was quoted in the paper saying that he really needs help getting out there and earning the trust of the people in those neighborhoods.
Well, he said specifically if he's going to bring back Wilmington, he has to get out in the neighborhoods.
Exactly.
He said that in his acceptance
and
speech.
that has been my strongest forte, is that I have been in every neighborhood, the worst neighborhoods where the shootings take place. I shut down a gang house, you know. It's just so many things I did that I could not speak about, the things that I've taken on as a councilwoman, because I believe that one person can make a difference, and I work very closely with the police. They asked me to help them in certain neighborhoods. So I think that out of all the people, I have the strongest relationships in those neighborhoods, and that I could be a great asset to helping Mike. See, Larry, like my quote in the paper, very sincere, and I've always, people I think know this about me, it was never about Maria Cabrera. It was never about ego. I did not need to do this. I had better things in life I could do. I have a young child. I did this because I love the city and I love the people, and my heart was breaking for the mothers who keep burying their children and who are scared. And I myself as a mother was scared for my own child who had a rifle pointed to his head. I was very clear. I'm running for mayor for purely selfish reasons. I need to keep my child alive, and I need to keep the children of Wilmington alive.
Well, maybe we'll talk again when you're a member of the Brzezicki administration. Thank you so much, Maria Cabrera, Councilwoman of Wilmington and mayoral candidate. When we come back, giving money to veterans and training them at the same time as part of a great program to improve the state parks. We'll talk more about it when we come right back.